thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. I'm glad that I finally have been able to meet you after, I think, 2 years, the entire pandemic time. But I have something to actually share. This is a lineup of the stuff that you are involved in. Don't hold your breath. We've been seeing it like let's talk about Leela, or for that matter, Kala, Bell Bottom, Valima is coming. There's Mithya, of course, that we are here to talk about. There's Double XL, there's Gangubai, Army of the Dead. My God, is there anything in which you are not there, Huma?
I have a list. I'll send you that. I'll email that to you.
Yeah, we've left out the to be announced portion. This is only like a sliver. This is just an example. Yeah.
No, it's been a busy time. I can't complain. I really can't.
But yeah, it says a lot about the fact that you're a greedy actor. You want to be part of good projects, good cinema. So that's something that actually talks about Huma Qureshi, the actor, the performer.
No, you're being very sweet, Riya. Thank you so much. And I think, the pandemic has just brought out, I guess, this feeling that one has to, life is precious. The time is now. Don't waste any time. And, I always think a lot about like the work that I do and what do I want to leave behind. In case the world is coming to an end. So hopefully not. No, it's been a busy time, and I've consciously tried to keep myself busy and think less and live in the moment and be spontaneous about my work choices. And God has been really kind. I've had some great makers that I'm working with currently,
Yes.
and I'm just having fun.
So the number of projects that you're associated with, when jin ke naam liye, it has everything. Whether it is regional cinema, I don't think we can call it regional anymore. Whether it is a pan-Indian film, whether it is an out-and-out Bollywood blockbuster like a Gangubai, where even if you're playing a cameo, whether it is an international film, whether it is OTT space. So you have actually made it a point to probably be a part of everything, which is probably where the audience lies right now. Is that a conscious choice, or it's just happening because of the way the content is being seen currently, especially post pandemic? Jis tarah se people have started watching and consuming content, that is really undergone a sea change.
See, I feel like as an actor, maybe perhaps earlier I used to overthink a lot in terms of what I should do, not do, and I feel like sometimes maybe that's not always a good thing. And I think what the pandemic at least has done for me on a personal level is that when you see so many things that are so unsure, and like, I remember a time when during the first lockdown, we were like, oh my God, like, how will we ever go to work on a film set, because will it ever get safe enough? Or during the second lockdown where, there was this wave where there was so much that one was being exposed to, it was just, for me, it was about like, I feel despite all that, so blessed. And every single day I am reminded of how blessed I am that I'm able to, through my work, entertain people, and bring a smile to their face. And I've been like, I've not stopped myself. So whether it's been a great film like Valimai, which has come my way, I've been like, yes. Or there's been like a song appearance, with Gangubai, or there's been Mithya, or there's been anything else that I'm doing. I'm like, I see every single thing as an opportunity to entertain people and to reach out to people. And I'm so blessed that I'm able to work in these different genres and different industries, different platforms. So why not? I'm not here to pick and choose. Ki, Acha, I'll only do, OTT, or I only do a theatrical film. As an actor, I can do all, and I want to do all. And I think this way, our audience base only increases. I'm so excited about even Valimai having like a pan-India release.
Yes.
It's a very exciting time.
Now, since you mentioned Valimai, ever since that first announcement was made, where that you are going to be a part of this film with Ajit, tell me honestly, Huma, how many fans on a daily basis have texted you or probably DM'd you about Ajit and Valimai?
I can't count it. It's uncountable. It's not possible. The day we released the Hindi trailer, I think Twitter itself was like, kya ho kya raha hai yahan pe? And they started this thing where they had these forums and debates where they were like discussing the film, discussing Ajit sir, discussing everything. And it's just so nice to see that kind of love, that outpouring of love that comes, And I think it's been a difficult film because we started shooting in 2020 and there's been affected, by so many things and lockdowns, etc. And I think Boni sir, our producer, our director, Mr. H. Vinod, Ajit sir himself, they have been like the three pillars in that sense to see this project through and to make it happen and for it to come true. So it's been quite commendable, I think, in that sense. And which is why I think, people are excited and not a day goes by, even though we are not releasing anything or whatever, every day I would get like asked, I'm posting something, but if you go through my Insta or whatever, people are just asking, ma'am, please give Valimai update. Ma'am, like, koi update nahi hai. Main bhi wait kar rahi hu update ka.
So, ever since you did Kala with Rajni sir to now, when you're doing Valimai, do you think that approach has changed, or is it like a different universe altogether? Because when it comes to films like these, even Pushpa for that matter, which is just, the kind of response that is seen even when it is released next to a Spider-Man Homecoming. So that was immense. That had a different sort of, it's not just that they have their own set of people who are associated with them. The fan base is immense. It's a pan-India thing, and also all across the country, there is a section which is looking at cinema, which is coming from, every part of the country as far as India is concerned, not just South or North for that matter. So with Ajit's film, did you see that it's a different sort of a universe or people or perception when it comes to films coming from South India? Have they changed?
Well, I think, like you rightly said, there is no South Indian film or Bollywood film or whatever anymore. I think we're in the age of making pan-India films, and I think the audiences are accepting it. I was shooting for Maharani recently in Bhopal, and there's a little kid on set, and he couldn't stop, acting like Allu and like doing the steps like that. And I have a video of him, and I was like, it was so sweet. And I was like, who's your favorite actor? And he said Salman Khan and Allu Arjun, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he's like 6 or something. And that's the power of movies. If there's one way I feel as an actor that we can really sort of, get the pandemic out of our psyche, is to sort of have these kind of pan-India celebratory almost releases where people just go en masse and watch films and enjoy their experience of a communal theatrical viewing. What better way to celebrate? I mean, we've been so almost devoid of human contact for such a long time. So it's such a great way.
Absolutely.
So I am very excited for all the pan-India releases that are lined up, not just my film, but whether it could be an RRR or whatever else. I think it's such an exciting time for films in general. And this is a way, we can sort of give back and get people back in the theaters and tell them, okay, come on, let's move on and let's get on with life.
I just wanted to see you talking about the original remake of Cheat, which is obviously this series. Now, the fact that you've seen a couple of episodes that you mentioned, as an actor, when you're approaching something which has been adapted from someplace, how important is it for you to probably go and watch the original, or even if it's a book adaptation for that matter? Does it not change your perception or the way you would be probably approaching the role?
No, I mean, to be honest, I don't like reading. I don't like watching if you're attempting a remake or attempting like a re-rendition or whatever. Books I like to read because I just like to read books. So I never miss an opportunity to read a book, even though it is being adapted or not being adapted. But films or series, yes, I try not to watch because I feel it colors your judgment. And as an actor, like I always feel like if I'm going to just like cut, copy, paste what another performer's done, then that's not doing justice to what I can do. So I try and go with a clean slate. Yes, the story beats are important. I mean, to watch even these 2 episodes was just to understand the world. To be honest, because ये British show है, तो मुझे British shows बहुत पसंद है because I feel in terms of writing, in terms of characters, in terms of interpersonal relationships, they are very, very fine. With no disrespect to American shows or whatever. But I feel like they just have something else. Like it could just be 2 people, in a classroom, but just the way they draw out their insecurities and the drama is so lovely. So I think in that sense, the overall structure was very much like Cheat. And the overall beats were very much like Cheat. But I think within that, we were trying to build characters that were real flesh and blood and, people we could relate to.
Mm-hmm. There is a Cheat and an original in all of us. I mean, how much do you relate with that particular thing that you've said?
All of us. I think not all of us are always honest. Not all of us are always ourselves. There are certain situations where you have to wear a mask or say something that's politically correct. Like in an interview, I'm sure there are many things you'll ask me. I'll not give you a straight answer. See,
no, you will.
or maybe I will. And you can't never tell the difference. But I guess all of us, right? We're constantly playing different characters in our day-to-day life as well, and in different environments. When you're at work, you're not the person. When you go home, you're different. With parents, you're different. With your loved ones, you're different. With your partner, you're different. So I think it sort of comes from that.
So we are celebrating cinema, that's true. But one thing that we are not celebrating, and this is on a serious note, is the secular fabric of India. I mean, I have just been, obviously presenting news since morning. The things that come to light, even as a journalist, really disturb you. What is happening in Karnataka with the hijab ban and students not being allowed to go to school, education really suffering? If you had to put in your 2 bits about this, what would you say?
Well, I feel that whether a girl, and this is of course my personal opinion, whether a girl is wearing a mini skirt, she has her head covered with a dupatta or a ghungat, she's from a rural place where women have to do, and maybe she could be married or with children or whatever, or she's wearing a hijab. And if she wants to go and she wants to study and she wants to improve her quality of life, then it is the state's responsibility, it is our government's responsibility to allow her safety to do that. I feel all this debate I keep listening to, I feel like, why do men have a say in women's bodies and what we want to do with it? So whether I wear a bikini or whether I wear a ghungat or whether I wear a hijab, I don't think any man has a right to question it or stop it. And to stop my education and to stop me from getting an education or getting a job, I feel it's, that's not right. And I feel it's the state's responsibility to take care of that.
And it's a very important point that you made, Huma, because even before this, when this Sully deals case happened, where let's say a certain religion and a religious group of women were targeted, where they were put up on online auction by an app just for being woke or for being opinionated, for having an opinion in society, all this has been happening on a day-wise basis, and it's absolutely sad.
यार बहुत शर्म की बात है, because I feel like हमारे देश में हम औरतों female form को पूजते हैं. We worship the female form, whether it's Ma Lakshmi or Durga or Saraswati. We worship the female form, the female body, and I feel like it's very sad that we are not able to provide basic security to women. Absolutely. And online trolling is another very sick example of that. So whether you're teasing a girl on the road when she's going to work, or you're not being able to give a good environment to women at workplace, it could be a corporate office or a newsroom or the film industry, or online you're harassing women based on anything. I think it's quite sick. It's quite sick. And I think any civil society or any great country cannot really become great if we can't provide security to all women.
Absolutely, and very well said.
Irrespective of what their first name or their last name is, we have to provide basic security to everybody.
Absolutely. All right, Huma, I know this is a little heavy, but what we'll do is try to make light this entire situation, go into some fun and games, because I'd like to do this with all my guests. So there's a little version of Never Have I Ever. If you have something to sip onto, it'll be great, even a glass of water. If not, then we will try to wing it. Oh, great. So I would ask you to take a sip if these instances that I'm referring to have happened in your life or you've experienced it in some way or the other. So you take a sip if this has happened. Tell me the little story behind it, and then we move on to the next. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first one, take a sip if you possibly are that one person who has more books than clothes.
I have more books, so I have to take a sip?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Take a sip if you have ever had a really terrible or a really funny audition experience in your life.
I have had a funny or a whatever experience.
Yeah. Tell me the story ना क्या हुआ था?
Stories. अच्छा मुझे लगा खाली सिप लेना है story.
नहीं ऐसे story.
नहीं story का ये है कि I was at an audition and मैं नई दिल्ली से गई थी और दिल्ली में ना मतलब I grew up in a very protected environment. The first time आप audition पे जाते हो and like whatever, and I was just always used to the fact that लड़कियों से आप अच्छे से बात करते हो, you always आप करके बात करते हो या थोड़ा respectfully बात करते हो. So I went for this audition. This guy was really rude and he walked and said, "Tum, idhar aao." And he said it in a very I can't explain it, in a very rude, condescending voice, as if I've come there to beg. So I was like, "Ji, aap mujhse baat kar rahe hain?" Like, हाँ. So I was like, yes, sir. So he's like, चलो ये line पढ़ लो और ये से. But he was just very gruff. तो ऐसे सर आप अच्छे से बात कीजिए मतलब, I don't think I deserve to be spoken so badly. So he looked at me because I, like, yeah. So it was just a horrible experience. And I did said, नहीं मुझे नहीं करना ये, thank you. मैंने वो वापस किया और मैं आ गई.
So good, you stood up for yourself. Okay. Take a sip if you have ever made a fool of yourself when trying to impress a guy. Ever made a fool? ये बिल्कुल ही पपलू बना
दिया. Say that again. I didn't catch that. Say that again.
If you've ever made a fool of yourself when trying to impress a guy, could be in school or college when you were younger. कभी भी अपना बेवकूफ बनाया हो? Never. You're always a smart girl. Okay.
I made fools.
Somebody else has made a paplu out of himself and trying to impress you. Okay. All right. Ever received a love letter? Take a sip if you've ever received a love letter. And written one. Sent it out to. Praise. Nice.
बहुत नफरत है दुनिया में यार, प्यार बांटो, सबको लिखो लव लेटर में.
I agree. Okay, lost out on a role. Take a sip if you've ever lost out on a role just for being too tall. Never. Height was never a factor. I'm sure finding heroes for you was difficult back then. Only the Akshay Kumars would do.
No, my first one was Nawaz. He's shorter than me.
That's true. That's true. Yes. Okay. All right. The last one. Take a sip of your first ever crush. Celebrity crush. This is the second last one. Celebrity crush was questionable. Like really questionable choice. First celebrity crush.
Celebrity crush was questionable.
Yeah. कोई बहुत ही weird आदमी हो अगर आपका crush हो. नहीं? Somebody told me to this answer. Somebody told me that she had a crush on Bill Clinton. I said, not bad. It's not questionable.
Depends. 90.
Yeah, if you just don't go into the details and the controversy associated, then yeah, maybe you can pass. Yeah. All right, the last one. Take a sip if you've ever sung in public.
Oh yeah.
Are you a good singer?
And made a pull up. I'm a terrible singer. मतलब मैं गाऊं तो मतलब लोगों के कान से खून निकल आए, इतना खराब गाती हूँ मैं.
What did you sing?
Huh?
What did you sing?
Anything I can sing. I can sing for you also. I am shameless like that.
Please sing.
Give me a song. Any
song, yeah, whatever's going on in your head.
Oh God, now this is pressure. I don't know what song to sing. Since we are promoting Mithya.
yeah. Mithya से कौन सा गाना है?
Mithya में कोई गाना नहीं है, but because it made me think of Avantika and Avantika made me think of Bhagyashree ma'am, so I'm going to sing a song from मैंने प्यार किया. Ja,
yes.
Ja, ting 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 ting, ja, ja, ting ting ting.
Very good. Very good.
Ja, कबूतर, ja, ja, ja.
मेरी खिड़की पे कबूतर था, वो वाकई में चला गया एक्चुअली.
वो तो चेक करो, मर गया होगा मेरी आवाज.
But thank you so much for doing this, Huma. It was absolutely fantastic speaking to you, and all the best for Mithya and also Valimai.
Thank
you so much. You take care. Bye.